Greetings and welcome, my friends and fellow gamers. I'm Wrath, and today we are looking at Scum. Now, Scum is another survival game, similar to my interest in games like Hellion. I do enjoy similar games, and this is a game that's more on the ground, but it is as much of a brutal survival game as Hellion is. It is just as unforgiving. It is just as really something that you have to take some time to wrap your head around. So I'm going to go ahead and put together a character. Now, I'm doing this as a guide. I've spent a few days, about a weekend or so, playing the game and getting a feel for it, to understand where everything is at. Now, one of the things you'll notice is that I'm adjusting my character's age, and a lot of people mess around with this by adjusting their character's physical attributes. In this case, we're going to do a character build, but we're going to go ahead and work on this, and I'm going to show you the kind of things that you want. So the first thing is we're going to take away as many points as we can to set this down to baseline. Alright, so the baseline is 1 in each stat, and then it's applying a bonus based on your age. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, alright, we want a better constitution, and we want more intelligence. So we're going to start building those up first. Alright. Now we do have 2 more points, and rather than put those in dexterity, we're going to put those into strength. And that's going to give us, and this is, based on the current state of the game. This is an early access game, so a lot of this is going to change, and so the meta of the game is going to change quite a bit. But the reason I set it for this is because I want my character to be strong, enduring, and intelligent. And that intelligent part is the thing that a lot of people will miss their first time through. And that's because of these skills. Alright? Now, because we only have 1 skill, everything goes into it for dex. So that's not that big of a deal. The rest of these are. And so let's go ahead and take a look here. Now I'm going to go ahead and push my survival up to medium. I'm going to push my awareness up to medium, because these are important things. These will let you know what's going on around you and help you understand stuff. We're going to go ahead and put camouflage up to basic, and I think maybe we can put sniping up to basic. Yeah, and that's just about it. Alright, so that's our intelligence skills. Now we're going to go ahead and max out endurance, because we want to be able to run very, very long. We'll take this down just a little bit so we can get this guy to medium here. And now I don't know if these skills actually advance or not, so this early loadout can be very, very important for you. Now, one of the things I let everybody know is don't bother with boxing. Yes, you can fight with unarmed fists, but you're not going to be doing a good job of it. You're going to want to have good handgun and good melee weapon skills, and then apply to rifle as needed, and I'm going to ignore boxing altogether. And that's because melee weapons are your most important skill in terms of strength skills. So we're all set here, and we're going to go ahead and get dropped in. Now this stuff is going to get unlocked more for customization. Right now it's, oh wait, hold on. I want to change one thing here. Oh no, okay, yeah, I did want that guy. Okay, so our skills are where I left them, and now we're going to go through. Now, as you can see, all of these are not really all that much right now. And all of that stuff we'll be able to adjust later as more builds of the game come out, but for now, this is what we've got. And again, this is early access, so take it with a grain of salt, but the concept is you're on an island, and you've been dropped there with nothing but the clothes on your back as part of an entertainment thing, sort of like the everybody on this side of the fence is criminals, and we're all here for other people's entertainment. But rather than it being just some kind of battle royale or something, there's nothing forcing you to engage other players. There's plenty of things on the island that will kill you outright by themselves. One of the most important things being that there's these things called puppets, which are basically zombies. So as we're loading in here, I'm going to go through and show you that the reason for these guides is to help you with the survival, because one of the things that is really done really well in this is the survival element of it, because you're not just oh well, I have a food meter and I have a water meter and stuff. You have all of the actual needs of a human being. So that means you need to make sure that you're consuming enough food for the level of expenditure that you're doing. You need to make sure that you're eating the right kinds of foods. So I'll show it to you here in a second. So first thing is, let's take a look at the map and see where we landed. Alright, so we landed in sector C1 here. I've never been in that sector before, so that should be interesting. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So tab opens up our inventory here, but it also opens up our crafting menu and our metabolism screen. And now you probably got your head spinning, because this is literally showing so much stuff that it's hard for you to really make any sense of it. But we'll go ahead and we'll focus on what we need to do first. Now the first thing you need to do is do a little bit of crafting, and that means getting some rocks. And you can find rocks just about anywhere. You just need 2 rocks. And rocks, of course, are the easiest thing to find. So we're going to go ahead and go into our crafting menu, and we're going to craft ourselves a stone knife. Okay? So basic tool, getting started. So now that we've got the stone knife, we're going to go ahead and put that in our hands, and we're going to immediately cut up our shirt and our pants. And this is so that we can get ourselves a bag. So you'll see here, after he's done cutting it up, you'll see that it's got, let's cut this one into rags as well. So, and this, I mean, you gotta take the time to do it. And so now we're gonna go ahead and cut some of these rags into more strips. Now your equipment, whatever you're wearing, clothing, bags, whatnot, those determine how much space you have in your inventory. And so while that's doing that, we're gonna go ahead and craft here. So now that we've got that, we're going to craft, and we're going to make an improvised rope as a crafting element. Alright, and that will allow us to make this improvised courier backpack with the rope and 3 of the scraps and the knife. Now, one of the things that is sort of a failing point for a lot of people with this game is guns. everybody thinks that they need to get guns and that they need to get guns fast, but guns are actually a bad decision. And what I mean by that is that the puppets are very, very responsive. Given even the slightest opportunity, they will be on you like white on rice. I mean, they will straight up jack you, and in large groups if there are any of them around. Guns draw them like mad. So what we're going to do is we're going to look. There's a pond to our right, and then there's a major facility to the north of that, and it looks like there's a couple of different things. So we're going to head for the water first, because whenever you're playing a survival game like this, securing a source of water is important. Now, I've been told that they're going to add, like, having to purify your water and stuff later on, and that's cool. I don't really think that it's a necessary element, because there's already so much with this game in terms of really taking care of your survival. So the first thing we need to do is, let's make sure we're still heading in the right, we're heading roughly in the right direction. The first thing we need to do is try to take a look and see if we can get some tools. So we're going to cut down these bushes here with our knife, because we need a relatively long stick. And so when we cut this down, we got one long stick and two short sticks. So that long stick we're going to craft into a spear. It's just an improvised spear. It's a pointy stick. Alright, so we're going to take that and we're going to go ahead and put that in our shoulder holster here, and we're going to repeat the process over here. Now, these stone knives break super easy, so you're going to be making a lot of them early on until you can get a better knife or another tool. So again, crafting, and craft another spear. And we want two of these because we can throw one and use the other one as a melee weapon. So let's go ahead and go back to the inventory, place it there, and now, yeah, our stone knife is pretty much wrecked. So let's find some more rocks. Take that one. Find some more rocks. Okay. And let's craft a new one. Okay, and so now we can take we can toss that one and take the new one. Alright, so we're off this way. Running in our underwear. So now is a good time to go over some of the basic concepts. Now the puppets and stuff that, wait, where's this road go? Okay, that kind of goes towards the place we're going to check out after. But the puppets are not like everywhere. They tend to be congregated around places where people used to live, and basically my understanding is that they're basically kind of like you. They've got the little thing in the back of their head that's making them do all of this, but at the same time they have that they're already dead, so that the thing's basically controlling their brain stems, and basically people outside of the event are controlling them. So let's go ahead and bring our map back up. Alright, we're still mostly on target here. And you can control how fast you move with your mouse wheel, but staying fed is probably one of the hardest things to do early game. So that's why I wanted to make this guide, is that you really need to focus on what you actually need, and what you actually need is not guns, because guns will get you in trouble. So first thing right out of the gate is we're we're looking for the water here. Alright, there we go. Oh. There's a pig around here. Oh, there he is. You gotta watch out for those pigs because they will hurt you. They'll charge you. Let him go. Later on, we'll be hunting those guys. So we want to... It's good that they're around here, but we don't want to let them... We don't want to get hurt early on, because getting injured in this game is brutal. You don't, it's not like, oh, I rub a band-aid on it and it gets all better. You get injured in this game, even if you treat your wounds, it will take you a very long time to get back up into what could be considered fighting shape. So the first thing we're going to do here is I'm going to show you how part of the game mechanic works, and you got to be careful because sometimes there's puppets in the water. So what you're going to see here is this right here is your digestion monitor. Anything you eat goes into your stomach, and then once it's been digested, it goes into your intestines. If at any time you go over 100% on these, you're going to either vomit or have like explosive diarrhea, and that is a terribly bad thing for you. So as you can see here, I'm drinking water. I'm going to take a few drinks of water here just to keep my hydration level going. Okay, and as you can see, alright, the water's in my system. It's about 20% of my stomach, but these are going down by percentages. That's how fastly they're being digested in the stomach and going into the intestines. You don't get the benefit of the food until it gets into the intestines. Alright, so now let's go ahead and take a look at our map and see where we can go from here. Now there's two different spots that have my attention. There's one right here, right there. There's a little bend in the road there, and it looks like there might be some kind of little something there. And then there's the one that's up the road that way. Both of those look like they may be of interest, but I'm going to go for the one that's smaller first, or that's closer, because I think that might be like a campground or something. And so we're going to go ahead and take one of our spears out just so that we have a weapon in hand, and we're going to progress. Now, if we find any puppets, if we can find ones that are alone, we're going to go after them. Because, among other things, we need clothing, and they have clothing. So, let's check our map here again. Okay, it's going to be to our left up this hill. And what you want to do is you want to find, your priorities should be to find a place to set up shop. Alright, because even though you can't, you're not able to build like a base, like a proper carpentry base kind of thing, you can set up a sort of base of operations, and there's a couple of ways that you can do that, and we're going to get into that. But first we need to figure out what resources are around us. Any kind of like bases or shops or whatever that we can raid for resources, those have a respawn rate, and so even if it's a really slow respawn rate, it will help us. So let's check on the map here. Okay, so we should be reaching the road. So if we turn this way, we should find whatever it was that was on the map that I saw that I thought was, okay, so there's a little house there, so that might be what I was looking at. Yeah, it looks like a small little homestead maybe, and so there should be a puppet or two around here that we can take advantage of. Alright, we're going to crouch and take a look and see what we've got going on. Okay, there's one. Is there any other ones nearby? You always got to watch out to make sure that they're alone, because if you draw too many of them, you're dead meat. And don't think that those fences will stop them. They absolutely can jump over them. Alright, so first order of business is we want to tag this guy to get his attention. And in order to do that, we're going to throw this spear at him. Hold on. We're hearing somebody else. Oh, he's turned towards us. Alright, there's another one off to the right somewhere, so we need to be careful. I can hear him. So we're going to try and hit him with this spear. There we go. Pull out the other one. Alright, by spearing them, normally a fight like that would take a lot longer if I hadn't thrown the spear. So getting a good opening shot with the spear does a lot of damage, and that can save you a lot. Until we can get a better, more effective melee weapon, and that's going to be our weapon of choice here. So for now, we're going to put on whatever clothes we can find. We're not going to be too picky. And tennis shoes, fine. That'll be better than the junk we're wearing. Alright, but now we're at least not going to get cold and freeze to death. So let's find this other puppet and see what he's doing here. Okay, I can see him now. He's on the other side of the fence there. So we're going to go ahead and take him next. That sounds like there's more than one. There might be one in the houses here. So let's check the house, and oh, there's the spy drone. See, they're watching me here. Alright, so let's jump in here and send that. Ooh, that's a good find. A lighter this early. That is a great find. Now, you can afford to be picky when it comes to what you actually pick up. And you should be very picky, because you know, space is a finite thing, but also the game's going to try and tempt you into grabbing things you shouldn't. Okay, we could probably take that diary. Actually, we will. Okay. Let's go ahead and crouch so that maybe that puppet won't see us. Let's cut these short shorts into scraps. And then we're going to cut all of these into strips as well. Again, what we're doing is we're going for more rope because we want tools. And some of the earliest important tools are going to be axes. So to start with, we're just going to go ahead and craft these into a rope. And you'll spend a lot of time doing this crafting, so we're going to go ahead and put that there. And then let's go ahead and just for space storage, we'll keep these two together. Alright. Well, there's those shoes that we saw. Alright, so nothing else in here, so we're going to go ahead and get out. Now there are other people on this server with us, and they may or may not be hostile, so don't assume that just because you see somebody that they're hostile, but be on your guard. So let's go ahead and we're gonna get a little bit more of this guy here. Where did he end up? Oh, there he is. He's heading this way. So let's see if we can get around him. I usually like to attack them from behind, because once they get moving, they can be pretty fast. Alright, looks like this is some kind of little workshop, so we might be able to get some good stuff out of here. But first we've got to get sneaking up on this guy and get the first shot into him. Alright, so oops. So we're gonna go ahead and aim for his butt. And we missed. Okay. Oops, get up. Ouch. Come on. Take your medicine like a big boy. Okay. Make sure he's down. Okay, search him. Now we got hurt, so we need to patch our wounds right away. Because your wounds can get exacerbated pretty quickly. Alright, this guy's got pretty much the same gear on, so we can just cut these into rags now. Alright, we'll leave that there for a second. Let's go ahead and... Whew! That was a hell of a hit. Alright, let's come back to this guy. And again, my entire objective here is to prep myself for the things that I'm going to need. And don't be in a hurry to get a gun. Like I said, I mean, you know, even if you find a gun, you still have to find a magazine and you have to find the appropriate type of bullets. So guns are really just a big mess. Okay, let's move that there. Move that there. We're going to take one of these for our use as a bandage. And then craft another one of those. That's the next major thing is, of course, you want to make sure that you keep some kind of medical tool on you pretty much at all times, so that you have the ability to protect yourself or prevent yourself from bleeding out. So let's check this barn, or what passes for a barn here. Let's check this first here. Best thing we can hope for is a really good melee weapon. No, a log does not count as a good melee weapon. Ooh, nice. Alright, so we can equip that, and that's more storage for us. And so let's go up the ladder here and take a quick look at what we have available. Alright, this is the end of the first video, so please, if you have a chance, if you haven't already, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will go through this here. I'm just going to real quick run through and see if there's any tools that we can find in here. Okay, oh, we might be able to craft something out of that. So we won't hold out hope, but there's at least a chance. Whenever you're doing your searching, be thorough, because there's plenty of places that they like to hide stuff. Cauliflower. Okay, we're going to just eat that straight out the gate. Early on like this, anything you can do, any kind of snacking you can do to help prolong yourself from going into major hunger issues is going to help. Alright, I only need 2 of those, so I'm not going to grab any more. What we're looking for is some tools, or that thing that's on the shelf there, which is a small axe. Oh, pardon me. That's actually perfect. This is a very good find for us. We don't need the candle, so we'll go ahead and there's the cool thing, you can place stuff in the world. Let's go ahead and bring these down here. Okay, so that requires 4 vertically, probably. So we don't have the room for it yet, but we're still going to take it because it is absolutely a useful tool for us. And we'll take that lead plate. And the reason we're going to take the lead plate is because when we do go for guns, the lead plate is what we can use to build the ammo that we need. So with that done, we've raided our first little area, and we're ready to start moving on. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here. Let me go ahead and get clear of this, because once I log out, things are going to start respawning, and I don't want to come back to the game right here and find myself puppet food. So this game does use a delayed logout functionality, so don't log out somewhere where you don't feel safe, and make sure that it's somewhere you'll be safe to log back in as well. So right here should be fine, and we can go north next time. Again, if you have not already, please leave a like. If you're enjoying this series, I'm going to try and finish out this guide with all of the things that I've learned just playing this game over the first weekend. And until next time, I'm Wrath, and I'll catch you on the flip side.